Hi, connections. I am going to do a translation. I'm honestly not even sure what this is going to be about. I just felt the need to translate, so I'm present. Um, and I'm just pulling the decks out because I'm not actually sure which directions is coming from. But we're going to figure it out. I feel in a very playful mood, honestly. I have a very intriguing emotion right now. I moisturize my fingers. See, I got my nails off too. I gotta let them sit for a minute, but because they still are healing, so sometimes they gotta just be. But I feel really good. I'm such in a celebration mode, honestly. It's just a little sad just because, like, I'm the only one. It's like victory and glory is all around me. It's just intriguingly seem not to be present, if that makes sense. So it's like it's sad, but it's such beautiful and inspiring energy that I've been in, and it's so intriguing. And I have recognized it amongst me and around me, but sometimes people forget what victory is or what it looks like or how it comes. It is not always the easiest journey. It don't always look so pretty, but you always recognize victory, if that makes sense. Now going and grab from the psychic deck. So we're gonna see readings, albums, reading albums. Might be a good time to look through a photo album. Just feel like reminiscent energy, or something is trying to tell you something from it. There's a message in an album for sure. That could even be music. Because I've been identifying in album form, like album covers. It's like, if you get inspired and you do music, you can absolutely use minds as your cover, like, why not? It's like, it's letting you know what to look forward to, if that makes sense. It's the same way I do with my cards. It's the same aspect, if that makes sense. And if you feel inspired, as I feel inspired often to do it, just to share other people's awareness that I was aware of. Feathers. Got the native energy going for sure. And they got 14 on this bright energy. Signs, lots of signs. You may be in a energetic like me, honestly. It's intriguing because yes, it is holiday time. It's December. We look forward to Christmas and then New Year's. But this is another level of the awareness that you already have. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Traveling. Ooh, this is a big message. And hens. It's a lot in the travel. Just going with the native energy. Got 34 on there. Your roots in this communication, which is, that's so funny. I wonder if I should do it now or try to, because I haven't used my extra light. I got my extra light out today that I bought, and I honestly wanted to play with it. I was going to actually record and have like the light in blue, because I was like, this is communication, so I operate on the throat chakra. Well, I'm operating at the moment through the throat chakra, but I wanted to symbolize that by having the light on. But once I start setting up, I was like, I like this mood right here. I'm gonna leave it just like this. But it's communication for sure. It's your roots. It's you. It's a lot of communication. It's going with travel. This seems like me. There's nowhere I can't reach. That's the whole world. Where can't you reach? Like, lately, Spirit been wanting me to get outside to communicate, like come to the altar, because I have to have an altar and I stay with somebody. And I thought about this aspect. I want to mention it, but I'm trying to even think about what I was actually thinking about within that moment. It's just, it made me think, like, I just thought about this. But I have to go out to nature to be able to receive. Even though I can receive anywhere. Oh my Jesus, it'd be amazing how I receive things all the time. It's like if electronics and things like that stopped, like communication in that form of a way, my everyday life is the message. It's intriguing, like how myself can just operate in a displays the whole day. That's why I begin to use a metaphor of an emotion of expressing energy as into traffic. It's intriguing. I hope that's understandable, but if not, then I'm just telling you my experience within this journey and how I identify things and how it reflects in an overall aspect on just myself. It goes with alignment. It's something I thought about. It's so funny. I thought about alignment, and I was like, because today I had pie. I love pie. Since November, I've been eating pie like, yes. I started off with pumpkin pie because pumpkin pie is so good. And then one time I was like, I want to try a different pie. So I grabbed sweet potato pie and I've been stuck. I wanted to say sprung, but I was like stuck. I've been sprung. It's so good. But I had some of that today and I was like, satisfying. Which made me think about the word satisfying. Like, what it means to be satisfied. And for me, I was like, maybe I shouldn't say satisfied because there's something above satisfied. But it's like, no. If you understand alignment, you in a true alignment, you're satisfied. I don't mean settled and satisfied. I mean satisfied. It's a great feeling, and that's how I felt eating that pie. That's how I feel about pie, honestly. But in overall aspect, I normally sometimes have satisfying moments because alignment is perfect. It's not as satisfying. I'm about to say it's not as satisfying. Honey, yes it is. Yes it is. Very satisfying. There's no illusions in that aspect. Ancestors, come join me, darling. Because this is all you for sure. Got it too. For sure. We're going to go to the houses. Houses was definitely communicating today, which is 12th house, which goes right back to feather aspect. There's so many metaphors of how I use that to express it for myself, other than just identifying as faith and a spiritual person, and always talking about birds and cats and elephants, things like that, and Buddha, of course. I identify things like that with wearing my extensions. I call them feathers. It keeps me connected. It's a natural connection. Like some people make jokes, they be like, if you're synthetic, not synthetic. Yeah, it's called synthetic. When it's not like human here, it didn't come from like a human aspect. It came from however they make it. It's no good, but it's still a connection. That means you are never alone. You are identifying you are never alone, okay? Like, that's a beautiful thing. That's why I don't think one ginger should just be allowed to do it or not. I always have a hard time in that category. Sometimes when it comes to who can and who can't do this. It's almost like how they say white girls shouldn't wear braids. It's intriguing to me. Or locks. I've seen them with locks too. I thought it was gorgeous. If you can do it, you can do it. If you understand it, you understand it. If you don't, you don't. Like me, I'm not a person that wore locks. I wear braids, but I wouldn't do locks. It's not for me. But I understand the concept. I could get an actual beautiful satisfaction out of it if it was meant for me. Just because I know your hair can grow very, very long. But for me, I take that in another level of my awareness and using it in that same aspect by just being strong with my family. I will grow with my family when we understand that concept of just a simple hair growth or hairstyle that brings this growth. It's the same aspect. And lately I've been having a hard time in that area. It's like on this journey for me, I have a lot of people around me, definitely in the faith base already, who's already been doing this and, bold and standing out with it. But sometimes they still even question it when it comes to me. It's very intriguing. Like, nothing I say makes sense. None of this is resonating. You're reading the wrong book. The holy book is not for you. You might be one of the other categories that I have learned. It's just, if you were trained to do it this way, you do it this way. But if you don't recognize faith, you're in trouble. It's like judgment come to the door and you just, oh, hold on, what? Well, I don't remember what I was doing. That don't sound accurate. But then again, if we go back to history, they always question like prophets and things like that. Like somebody brought that to my attention. I think I mentioned it in my last translation, maybe, or the one before that. As into Jehovah Witnesses came to me, which I was so geeked. So I was like, I was learning my faith, my journey. And I was like, oh my God, I heard about you guys. Come tell me, make sure this shit is aligning, So I was happy to see them. I think I actually approached them one day when I was coming back from the track. I think I was at the rec center or something like that. And I seen them and I was like, oh, what's going on? Tell me the message. And he scheduled an appointment to come back to see me the next day. It was like, I seen him out on the traffic way. We were walking. And he came to the door, however, and he was like, so what do you think the end will be like? Like, he came asking me questions. I thought it was going to be vice versa. Like, you tell me something. You tell me, So it's intriguing that they still question that aspect. Like, do it make sense? Why are you even out here doing that? Don't you realize you being a Jehovah Witness, you are a prophet? You don't realize that? Like, you're the same aspect. You're the same aspect. That's why I thought you were going to tell me something. But maybe, it's a saying I heard, and I know it's a true statement from my aspect, as until we were all still learning. But it's like, how many have come? None of those things that they said came into fruition. You never seen none of those play out? None of it? Oh, you have to? Why do you question it? Like, for me, and the message that I got, I feel it getting irritated a little bit. I feel it getting irritated a little bit. It's intriguing. Why? Because it's repeating so much. And it's like, as I was saying in the translation I just did, I think I even watched my other translation. She was the same way. Repeating the stage over and over. Like, you're never catching awareness. And when it comes, why do you question it? It's intriguing to me. I feel like it was something else about it. I got a lot of cards out and I haven't even looked at them yet. Jesus. Begin writing down your emotions. What are you receiving? Even how I'm doing now, I'm translating. I felt the need to translate. I had no clue what I was going to come here and talk about, honestly. But that's what came out up under feathers. And the way I think I'm going to change up the way I record sometime. I got inspired by it. You can kind of see my cards a little better now. But last time I recorded, I lifted the phone up and I liked it the way it looked at from the overview aspect. So I'm going to work on that aspect. Because the way that the card is looking at each other is this way. Like, you could be praying and manifesting something. This was like in this aspect, the way I got it up now. The way I was saying it before was the eternal side telling you something, write it down. Or it could be vice versa. That's the perfect alignment aspect. It's a native aspect. You naturally receive. There's no way you don't. The best thing that I have learned within this connection is the way that it comes in. It's like a personal VIP aspect, if that makes sense. It can come through music, it can come through a movie, it can come through a book. It's not always going to be, I went and prayed and then I went to church and then I seen the miracle in church. The pastor told me what I went and prayed about. It may not be that. You might need to watch a movie. You may need to go for a walk and you will see signs out there, whether it's the way the wind is moving, the water, the birds flying over you. There's so many ways you can receive it. I'm getting the chuckles. I'm looking at my shirt and I'm thinking of a picnic, and it's so funny because I actually talked about a picnic today. The person that I stay with, they get a package of like some battle ready stuff or something like that. And something that was in there, one of the ingredients, I was like, ooh, this would be romantic to have a date, like, that'd be so romantic. I never actually had a camping date, like, where you said like a bonfire or something. I don't know. It's like some movie stuff. It's nice. And the way that they have advanced it is like, this is fancy. All the things that you can have while you're camping is extraordinary. Which I made a little funny joke, because, like, I can understand that I live it. I was like, this is something that make a homeless person, like, fancy. Fancy. Seriously, like, all the things that's available is amazing. It's amazing. Okay. I feel like I'm getting sidetracked. Pardon me, but this was coming through. Teach and share. I'm so done with myself. That is so funny. That's the travel for sure. There's nowhere you can't reach. Your hands and what is this? That's so funny. Take time out. Ah, yeah. This is going with listening. This is listening energy. I feel like I'm doing it within a moment. It's taking a moment to think. It's intriguing, but this is literally listening to something that's coming in. You may move too much or do too much, but you're not listening. You're missing the message. For sure. Or it can go back to the first message as to write it down. There's something you're receiving and you're not writing it or you want to. It's intriguing. I've been wanting somebody to write me. Like, I gotta get a friend, so I can do great things that I be wanting to do, because it's so meaningful. Like, I take my friendship really serious. I haven't had one since, like, an actual friendship since I was like 15, and I'm 33 now. She was a white girl. Her name was Desiree. We went to school together, but I wound up moving and we lost friendship then. Well, I shouldn't say friendship. If I was to see her today, we would still talk, but I know we don't really have too much in common no more, because eventually I wound up going back to where I was raised, which is Warren. And I seen her, and she had a baby. Things were just different, because I didn't have a child then when I went back and seen her. It was just different, Even though I expected her to have a baby way earlier, but hey, it is what it is. She actually had one, which I know she'd be a good mom, but now my awareness and how I like things and I know it should be, it's just like, I want a great friend we can write each other. Like, I think that is so fun, other than like calling on the phone or texting, like, write me, okay? I look forward to getting it, or me writing them. It's just fun to me. It's meaningful. It's something cute, but I guess I can write myself. I'm gonna put it in the mailbox and I'm gonna wake up the next morning. I'm gonna get it out of the mailbox and I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm loved. I give myself chuggles. Oh, this is a lot. Clear your mind. You got begin writing down. You got take time out, and you got clear your mind. This is memory full. This is the way I like to identify it a lot of the times. Mindful thinking. Your mind is full. If there's time, it's time to think. Project it. Write it down. This will go with the hands aspect for sure. Whatever you are receiving, the eternal side needs something done. There's a message that have to keep things going so we don't have heavy traffic. I don't like heavy traffic. I'm so happy I haven't even mentioned heavy traffic lately, which is great, because that causes delays. Definitely, this is an emotion I thought about kind of recently. You're thinking about somebody, but you don't actually call them or act on how you feel. You just think it. It's just like, you have to respond, do something. That emotion is not going to go away. It's almost like an expression where it's like you have that emotion, but you sometimes can ignore it because you can like busy yourself out. But at the end of the day, guess what's going to come right back? Something didn't go through. Eternal side always knows when things do not go through and do not like that, which will cause a lot of this behavior. And that's exactly what we have. A lot. Let me make sure you can see this. There we go. I'm going to learn to position the cards. It's just like I hopped on. I had no idea if I want to do it, but it's like, don't know how this is about to go. And I'm liking the setting, but this behavior, suppressed behavior, is causing a lot of, I'm tired of telling you to express that. Take time out. You're not that busy. I know you're not. Clear your mind, okay? I feel like I'm being real sarcastic but serious at the same time. It's funny. And I put these cards backwards. Let's see. Very intriguing. Travel, take time out. This is different now. Nice. This is, of course, it's different, but it's literally is. You have time. That's just, you're not busy. Go visit somebody. There's somebody you need to see or wants to see. Take time out to do it. Recharge. That's what it is. It's going to recharge. That's a beautiful energy. That might even go with the energy that I think I translated yesterday as to you're blooming. You are looking like a flower in the winter, like a rose in the desert. That's how you looking, and that's how you should be feeling. And if you're not, you need to go and meet up, because you will feel that way. Maybe the love, support, messages that you just didn't know. I don't know. That's what that is, though. Teach and share your hands. It's like what I'm doing. I'm using my hands and I'm teaching and I'm sharing. Yay. Clear your mind, yes. Clear your mind goes right with the feathers. Very intriguing. It's something that you have to say or do. And the eternal side is telling you to do it. You're gonna Gaia. Which is funny because I translated something a little bit ago and I used a Gaia base with water, which is like water waves. Let me put that right there. And it's something that's within you. Definitely a female. That's what I'm learning about females. I'm on a lesson of a female base where it almost make me question, my belief as into what I actually like and should be with and is compatible with. And it's a female base. It's intriguing because I always have a hard time with females. I normally do. It always becomes a competition or envy. It's never a compatible where it's like, oh, I see your gift. I like how you shine.